Afternoon, gang. Welcome to our week 2, unit 2 of our class in mechanics. You guys were reasonably successful during week 1. I'm still looking at some of your discussions, and right now, just pieces of your, pardon me, of your web design problems. Looks like everybody that wanted to was able to get into web design, and I'm glad of that. I know there was some trouble with those, and I can't explain that. I have taken steps to be sure that the next time I teach this class, it won't be quite as painful for some of the students as it was for some of you all this time, and I apologize about that. But I didn't know it was going to happen. I hope I supported you well enough to get that done, to get you registered when you wanted registered. So, at any rate, let's keep talking about lab 2, or not just lab 2, but week 2, because there are 2 or 3 things to concern ourselves with in week 2. The lab, I think, is kind of cool. Of course, I think they all are kind of cool. But in the lab 2, that's called kinematics, and that is, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and call it, 2-dimensional kinematics, because that's, well, I'm trying to think why I shouldn't say that. It's alright, just get kinematics, that's basic motion in 1 or 2 dimensions. And the 1 dimension would be like this, horizontal. 2 dimensions might have a little slope to something, really just to gain energy. The other thing you're going to do, it's kind of cool, is get that toy car out of the lab kit called the constant velocity car. And that just has a motor in it that allows it to just move at a constant velocity. And you can do some experiments with that. There's also, don't tell your friends this, but it's also fun to mess with your pet cat with. My pet cat loved it. Actually, my pet dog liked it better. But if you're not careful, a cat, if it's the right temperament, right on it, not like it does on the Roomba, but it can kind of get on and ride. It's kind of hilarious like that. The web design, there are, I believe, this week only 6 of them to do. I could be wrong. I don't want to mislead you, but I think there's 6. And they're concerning motion in 1 and 2 dimensions. Again, I always do this. I think it's psychological. When I get on camera, I start yawning. Really unprofessional, but I can't do it, and I don't want to redo these all the time. But there are 6 problems that utilize accelerations or effects in 2 dimensions. Not necessarily motion in 2 dimensions, but you might have an object traveling north in a straight line and be affected by a crosswind, going east to west. So you have effects of 2 dimensions. There would also be some motion of a projectile or a car in 2 dimensions. Which brings me to the project review that you will probably want to look at a little bit this week. Golly, that's terrible. When you look at the project review, that for week 1, that is a project that utilizes motion in 2 dimensions. And I'm not going to spoil the fun for you, but it's really kind of interesting. And then it ends up, there's one main problem that you work on, which I'll tell you is like a delivery problem from an airplane to the ground. And that's interesting, and it's not too difficult. Like I think I told you in last week's introduction, practice on the web design problems and on the kinematics lab, and that will give you some background to do next week's project pretty easily, I think. So that's the first of 3. So I think you'll like it. I think you'll like this stuff we're working on here. And I guess, let me see how much time I have. Okay. I think that's all. But if you need help with any of this, please contact me. I'm available pretty much all the time. I'm probably more easily contactable, if that's a word, in the mornings. But you could just text me. And I will tell you that on Wednesdays and Thursdays, if you text me between 8 o'clock and at 9 o'clock on Wednesday or Thursday morning, I'll pretty much, I think, guarantee I'll be here and I'll contact you back real fast. Other than that, I'll contact you as soon as I can. It shouldn't be a big delay anytime. I hope you're all doing well, had fun with the class so far. I've not seen any big questions on the WebAssign problems, but if you've got a question on them, please contact me again because that's what I'm here for. You all take care, and I hope to talk with you soon.